I can stand.
I know that I can stand.
No matter what comes my way.
No matter what may come my way.
Jesus, my life.
My life is in your hands.
Let's sing it together.
Shalom and welcome to today's Nugget of Hope. Today I want to talk to us on pay attention to intentions. Now, in life, we do a lot of things, we say a lot of things, but the most important thing is, why do we do these things and why do we say these things? Life is not just measured with the actions we do or the words we say. Life is actually measured by the intentions behind the words we say and the actions we do. The Bible invites us to interrogate our actions deeper by the intentions behind the actions. That is why the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 4 and verse number 23 that you need to guard your heart because out of it flows the issues of life. In other words, our actions, our words flow from our hearts. They are not just things that we do. There is a force behind what we do and what we say. In other words, if you do an action, what drives that action is more crucial, more important to God than doing the action itself. You see, you can go into a place and people cheer you, but some may not be genuinely cheering you because you deserve the cheer. Others will be cheering you because of what they can get out of you. And that is why even when it comes to our politicians, a lot of things they promise, we should not just judge by the promises. We need to look at the intention behind the promises. We are getting into a time where we need to begin to interrogate the leaders that we have with the things they say, the promises they are giving, and instead of just looking at the promises, we need to ask ourselves, what is the intention behind the promise? Because many times, what is behind the promise is not genuine. The moment they get into places of leadership, it is all forgotten. And that is where we realize that intentions matter. And because intentions matter to God, I believe they should also matter to us. And not just matters politics, but even in life generally. Let's be careful with the intentions behind what people do and what they say, not necessarily the actions and the words. There are people that we may misunderstand because of what they say. But if you are to interrogate the intentions of why they said what they said, you may actually be surprised that they meant well. And there are some actions that may be taken or done, and on the surface we may write them off, we may feel bad about those actions. But if we are to interrogate the intention behind the actions, you may actually be surprised that the intentions were good. Therefore, I want to urge us today, let's be careful what drives what we say and what we do. Because some may be driven by pride and others may be driven by goodwill or good intentions. Some actions may be driven by fear and not by faith. And that is what matters to God. What drives the actions you do, the words you speak. When intention is misplaced, even a good work becomes useless. Therefore, don't just look at the action, don't just look at the words, but look at the intention behind those actions and behind those words. That is what matters. Thank you so much for watching. These are Nuggets of Hope with Bishop T.